Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Back to the conversation. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Just everyone out there is probably dealing with the restaurant getting their order wrong at some point. Fortunately, most people handle that in a normal way.
Sure.
Not what an Albuquerque man did at McDonald's. He pulled a gun on a worker. The exchange at the McDonald's drive-thru did not last long. Surveillance video from the McDonald's shows 25-year-old Esteban Gonzalez pull up and tell an employee his burger didn't have cheese. Normally a quick solution to an easy fix, but to Gonzalez, something still was not right. About 10 minutes later, Gonzalez cut off other cars to get back to the window. That's when an employee called the cops. The Albuquerque Police Department's helicopter was hovering over the McDonald's within minutes, recording Gonzalez still at the window, then circling restaurants. When officers arrived, Gonzalez took off, likely unaware of the helicopter following him. He tried to hide out in a nearby neighborhood. Officers pulled up within minutes. He surrendered peacefully. Either way, he pointed a gun at a McDonald's worker over the fact he did not have cheese on his burger.
I hanker for a hunk of, a slab, a slice of chunk of. I hanker for a hunk of cheese.
Pretty easy. Here's a cheeseburger, buddy. We're sorry.
You know it's already made sitting in the window. Like, we can do that real quick.
Give the hamburger away if you want. Throw it away. Do whatever you want.
Or keep it.
Yeah, keep it.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah. Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
I like this one. It goes back to elementary school. It says, when I was in 5th grade, a girl named Megan, she flipped her desk, ran out of the back door of the classroom, across the field, jumped a fence. You know what the problem was? She's having a hard time with the math test.
The hell with this test.
I hate math.
I hate the math too, but I don't know that I ever did that.
You can run from it.
Well, no, I would just sit there and fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I remember I had a girl's geometry class, 10th grade, and at this time you had 2 desks pushed together, right? So she sat next to me. Now, I did not realize that she was cheating off of my paper when we're taking this test. Anyway, the teacher's now, he's passing the test back to you. She hands this girl her test, and her first words out of her mouth, she looks at me, and she's pissed, man. She's like, N-bomb, you stupid. I said, what are you talking about? She's like, I failed this test. I'm like, what does that have to do with me? I copied your paper. I said, no, you're stupid for thinking I understood math. When in this class have I displayed...
Raised my hand and volunteered information.
Ever. Every time the teacher is called on me, it's because I am suspiciously quiet, and the teacher knows I don't understand what's happening. And then when I gave a response to what the teacher asked, I was wrong. And then you copied my... She was mad at me. Like, I'm sorry that you cheated off of me, dummy.
Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Travis. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, Ted.
What's up, dude?
What's up? Hey, so yeah, I lost it. It was me. It's always me. I always lose it. By the time it was on Red Robin, I went in there, sat down with my family, ordered food, and I ordered my burger with no mayonnaise. And they brought me a burger with mayonnaise. I was cool about it at first. I took the sandwich, showed it to the manager. I was like, hey, I ordered this with no mayonnaise. So he takes it back. He sets it up in the window where the cooks are, which I can see from where I'm sitting. And it's just sitting in that window. About 2-3 minutes later, he grabs that same burger, brings it right back to the table, and puts it in front of me. I lose my mind. I put it up in his face, open it up with like inches in front of his face. I said, none of this stuff, no mayonnaise. I'm like losing my freaking everything. He goes back to the kitchen, hands it to the cook. The cook tosses it. New burger comes up. slaps a ton of mayonnaise on it, like he put extra mayonnaise on it. Just back in my face again with extra mayonnaise. I lost my mind on the mayonnaise.
Hello. Oh, phone trip cut off.
I love mayonnaise. I'll take the hamburger.
I mean, look, man. It's like, especially with a burger, right? I don't like pickles. I don't like all the crap they put on there. I just want a burger, probably with cheese, whatever delicious sauce. I don't want the tomato. I don't want the pickle. I don't want the lettuce. I learned at a young age, particularly through McDonald's, it wasn't worth going through that. Just pull it off yourself. Because it's muscle memory with these guys, right? If you are busy and you work in the kitchen, like, we understand we might mess up. We also understand you might be an a-hole. But it's muscle memory, so you don't really give it a second thought, because regardless of what you might think, nobody in the kitchen cares about you.
Yeah.
We care collectively about the restaurant. So your order comes in. You try to remember. You honestly try to do a good job. But again, when it's muscle memory, slap the mayonnaise on. Sure, that cook probably did it to be a douche at that time, but it's kind of funny.
The second one.
But it's just muscle memory. So what I figured out, because people would always say, why don't you just get your burgers without pickle? I'm like, because these guys at McDonald's, man, they're making 1 million burgers. You automatically reach for the pickle and you slap it on there, right? So I just know, open my burger, pull it off, no problems. Even if you go to Subway, right? I don't want the vegetables on my sandwich. Every time I get a sandwich from Subway, there's a little bit of lettuce on there, because as they're asking you what vegetables you may or may not want, they grab the lettuce. Because most people don't have a problem with lettuce. I understand I'm in the minority, but I just pull them out. It's not a big deal.
And you don't like lettuce.
And I don't like lettuce.
Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
I'm the same way with tomatoes. Because I get lettuce and onion almost every sandwich or burger.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just instinctively, if you want lettuce, they just assume you want tomatoes.
And it's really not. It's like, I understand. And you know what I'll do? I'll just pull them off. Ain't no big thing, man. Takes 2 seconds, maybe.
Mayonnaise is different because it's slathered on the bun.
Understood. Just ask for a new bun.
Right.
Not a whole new burger. Just ask for a new bun. It's no big deal. That, by the way, is, so you guys like shredded lettuce, prefer shredded lettuce over the big leaf lettuce.
On a hamburger.
I like the leaf lettuce because I know I'm going to pull it off, and it's much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when I get the shredded lettuce, I'm like, oh, God damn it. Now my finger's going to get dirty, right? I got to rake it off of there and all that kind of thing. I'm a child. I admit it.
Shredded lettuce, though, I love it. But I had some whatever. I was making sandwiches at home, and I was like, couldn't shredded lettuce. It's like it jumps out of the bag. It's up all over the counter.
Yeah, it's the lettuce's fault, Ted.
Yeah, like, I don't know what the hell's going on with this lettuce.
These jumping lettuce beans.
Hello, Lisa. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I used to work at Burger King many years ago.
How long did you work there? Miles made it, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
I made 3.5 years, and then several years later, I had worked there again after I had my second daughter. But I only worked there for a couple months at that second time. But the first time, it was 3.5 years. It was my first job.
Okay.
All right.
And it was out in Spanaway, so that kind of like, we got some crazy people, I swear. But it was a busy lunch rush or something. We were shorthanded. One of our front counter ladies, the super nicest lady, like she's the nicest lady ever, super friendly. This lady had to order food with her child, like a 5-year-old child, and accused my coworker of saying the S word. And just like, she didn't say it, and I know that because she was talking to me. But this lady would not let it go. She was going off on how disrespectful it was, how unprofessional we were, blah, 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 all this, that, and the other, while her child is right there watching the whole freak out. But that's not even the worst part, because somebody in the lobby that was sitting down was like, geez, lady, just give it a rest. And so she basically, the lady went over there, got in his face, and he's like, dude, you need to calm down. You're setting a terrible example for your child. And it ended up with, I think she threw a milkshake in his face, or he threw...
Oh, not the milkshake.
Yeah, and then I think he had a cup of ice, and he flung it at her when she threw the milkshake at him or something. Or it might be, I might have gotten that backwards. But, yeah, no, it was pretty intense. This is an old dude, and then some, like, lady with her 5-year-old child watching it. I was embarrassed for that child. Like, we're the ones that were unprofessional because there might have been the S word said it. And I'm like, lady, you're in public. Your child's going to hear these words. Why are you going off like this?
And you're at fast food. I mean, I don't care. You said Spanaway. I don't care. If there's a Burger King in the Vatican, if you walk in there, everyone in there is crazy. Right?
Yeah.
Fast
Yeah,
food
but-
and 7-Elevens.
Look.
It's like, look, understand what you're walking into, right? You're walking into a mental institution that serves food. That is essentially what these places are.
I will say this about Spanaway. It's very interesting as far as the dynamic on that one stretch of road.
You mean hookers?
Yeah, it's like everything involves sex. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with sex. You know what I mean? Like, but I've never really driven through there before. And everything is like topless or
You
it's
know, you
just
go
like-
there every weekend.
Right. Well, I would if COVID wasn't going on. Trust me. But you don't understand. I'm making this up and I'm exaggerating. But it's like topless Jiffy Lube, topless McDonald's. You know what I mean?
That was the other place.
Bottomless Target. You know what I mean? Like everything is like got a
Ooh,
sexual
bottomless Target.
Everything's got like
Bottomless Target.
Everything's got like a sexual angle to it. Like you can't just get a car wash. You know what I mean? It's like nude car wash.
Well, it wasn't topless Jiffy Lube for sure.
Well, it's naked 7-Eleven. Like everything there is just like you got to be nude. Whatever you
Laundering
do, tassel.
7-Eleven. I
Yeah, like
don't know.
the restaurants are called like Tassel Steakhouse.
Tassel Steakhouse.
You know that strip I'm talking about.
I have
Like,
been
the
down
sports
there.
bar and all that stuff down there by Lake Spanaway Golf. Yeah, it's all like that.
I had a guy
Topless hot dogs.
She's talking about, cussing around kids, right? And as much as I cuss in normal life off the radio, I just don't do it around the kids because they're kids, right? And they'll figure it out for themselves. I have no doubt they know most of the words I know. I'm sure they know words I haven't even heard yet, right? But they're smart enough not to say it around me, which is the whole game. Right? I don't care what you say. With
That's what you do when you're a kid.
Right. I don't care what you do with your dumbass friends. If I hear you say it, it's your ass, right? So I'm on a flight. The kids are about 4 and 3 years old, maybe. And there's this dude, I just remember he was flying to Canada, and it was an older guy, and he's with his wife, and his wife looked like Edith Bunker, right? And she kind of had the same spirit, right? Seemed real friendly. I don't know what his deal was, but we get on this flight, and the flight attendants at this point, everyone's still putting their bags up, and so the flight attendant walks down, it's a dude, and he's like, let me put your bag up for you, saying that to this older guy who's sitting one seat in front of me. And the guy looks at him and goes, congratulations, you're doing your effing job.
To the flight attendant?
Who again, we're still boarding, so everyone's still smiley and all that kind of garbage. And all he said, and he had helped like 8 other people get their bag up. So no big deal, but this was around Christmas time. So there's a ton of people. There's a ton of bags. That's what the guy says. And this dude, so the flight attendant, you can see his face change a little bit, but he's still trying to be professional. But this guy just keeps digging into him for nothing at all. But he keeps cussing. He finally straps himself in. And my problem is, my kids keep looking at this guy because he's not making like a massive scene. But if you're within earshot, a couple of rows, it's very clear what's going on. And I'm starting to get pissed, man, because it's like, dude, you just got to watch your mouth at some point. He keeps going on. He finally takes a seat. A different flight attendant comes back to say something to him just about his behavior. And we're all buckling up now. And he starts cussing her out. She kind of walks away. We're not going to delay the flight. They're just going to tolerate this guy. And I'm like, no, you're not. So I had to lean forward. And I looked at him, tapped him on the shoulder, said, brother, I got 2 little kids sitting directly behind you. And they hear every word coming out of your mouth. And I don't know who you are and why you keep cussing so much. You cuss one more time, I'm going to break your jaw. And it's a favor because people with broken jaws can't cuss. Quiet the rest of the flight. Like, problem solved. Flight attendants, free drink.
Oh, really?
Nice.
You should have got him the whole trip.
But I told him, I basically did, but I had to be good because I wanted to get pissed drunk, but the kids were there, right? But it's just one of those deals like, look, man, no. You got to, I don't know what your deal is. The flight attendants aren't going to threaten you, so I am. How about that?
Right.
And it worked.
Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
But I was very quiet about it. That's the whole thing. I got to whisper it. It's like, dude, seriously, I'm behind you.
I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to break your goddamn jaw. And it's a favor. That way you can't cuss anymore. You're welcome. That's how that went. Hello, Don. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
I used to own a delivery company that we delivered appliances, furniture, beds, things like that. And we went to this one house out on one of the Navy bases, and full bedroom set. And when you set the delivery up, you're told you have to have a clear aisle, clear stairs, all of that stuff. You have to be ready for them. Okay, the first thing that happens is we get there and they expect us to wait outside 20 minutes while the wife takes a shower. Okay, get past that. But we go upstairs and we start assembling the bed, and she says, "Oh, we want it put together exactly like the other ones." Tried to explain to her, said, "Hey, they go together a specific way." And long story short, she's standing there talking to her husband, and her husband says, "Hey, can you come out here a minute?" She goes, "No, I have to watch them. They don't know what they're doing." And this was just about the fifth or sixth thing she said to us, and I just blew a cork. Stood up and said, "Lady, you're about the rudest person on the planet." And now her husband's standing there while I do this, and he just kind of goes, so I'm thinking, okay, yeah, she wears pants in this family. I ain't worried about you. But my helper was there, and I said, you know what, I'll go outside and start getting the dressers and everything ready. And she looks at my helper and says, "I want your boss's phone number." So, of course, my helper hands her one of the business cards, and I'm the owner of the company. So she calls me, and I'm outside, and I answer my phone, so-and-so logistics company, and she looked at him and looked at her husband and just started cussing. And my nephew, my helper about that time, he's finishing everything up, and he goes, "I need you to sign for this so we can get out of here." And we didn't end up even delivering all their stuff because I told him, I said, "Finish the bed." I said, then either they sign or they don't. If they don't, they can go back to the Navy Exchange and they can pick the rest of their stuff up on their own. So they go to the exchange, and of course they're demanding an apology from me, and they're demanding a free delivery fee and everything else. And people call me. I said, I'll give them their delivery fee. I don't care. I said, but my trucks will never go back to their home again. And we were the only delivery crew that could pick up at the exchanges on the bases. So they really didn't have any choice. But anyway, my helper said, you really shouldn't have got that angry. It's like, well, I've had enough of her. So,
damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understood. There's certain situations. That was unprofessional. It's like, right, but there's a point where any human being, you just kind of snap.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, it doesn't matter who you are.
Especially when someone's bringing you something that you're looking forward to, and that's not an easy job. Like anytime you got to move things.
Sure.
They don't have it easy. You got to make it as flawless as possible.
But she just didn't expect that the guy working also owned the thing.
And that's her surprise.
It's a service job, so people think you can just treat them like crap.
I think that's it, right? She probably wouldn't act like that to a neighbor because a neighbor might hit you with a shovel. You don't know. But when someone, when you're the customer, people definitely get a lot more mouthy. And you think about some of the things you've heard in different stores or restaurants, and it's like, if you were just outside and this was a complete stranger and they didn't owe you anything or they weren't going to make money, I find it unlikely that you run your mouth the same, right?
Without question.
Yeah, and sometimes, too, I know I've done it a few times where you send an email or you talk to somebody rudely on the phone and, I sent an email back apologizing, then went to the person's office. Because it was like I was leaving a building and you just fire off. And I was like,
sure.
They were like, you apologize. I just want to look you in the eyes and tell you I am sorry. Right. I was having a bad day.
Good enough,
that was way out of line.
And I still appreciate that, Ted.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So this was about 2 years ago. I was in Metro Market with my then 2-year-old daughter. We're now at Target looking at stuff, but we were at Metro Market and we're in the soup aisle. So she's in the shopping cart. I turned to get a thing of soup. I turned back and there's probably a 65-year-old man tickling her under her chin.
Oh.
I don't know this guy. I've never seen this guy before, but he's touching my daughter. And I've been mad before, and I've heard people say you see red when you're mad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in Target, and I saw more red that day than I did right now.
So what did the guy say?
He was like, "Oh, she's so cute." And I was like, "Why are you touching my child? F you, get the F away from my child. If you don't move, I'm going to break your jaw. You need to leave. What are you doing?" And he saw the light go out in his eyes and ran off. The manager comes over and he's like, "Hey, I just saw what happened. I'm really sorry. Can we get you a coffee or something? We'll be moving from the store or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
He offered you caffeine? The last thing, can I get something to get you more pumped up? I saw what happened. I want you to completely lose your mind.
The very nice barista, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you handled it so well. I would have just slapped him or stabbed him or something." And I was like,
Jesus.
"No, it's okay. All right."
Slapped him or stabbed him.
Yeah.
Depends what I got on. It is different with your kid, man. It is amazing how you don't even realize how protective you are of them unless you feel someone's threatening them.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of hard to keep your S together. And even when you realize maybe it's a mistake, it's just, sorry, I didn't realize that they knew you.
Yeah.
My apology. You're still aggressive, man.
That's what I can tell my kids when they're in, when we go to CenturyLink and they're wearing Ravens jerseys to the game. You know what I mean? I got to say, like, look, you're going in there, I'm your dad, but you're a Ravens fan now. You're going to hear S all day.
Sure.
I can only protect you from so much before I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. So keep your cool together and just remember that you can walk into the stadium and watch Seahawks game without Daddy having to get beat up.
Your dad's going to get his ass kicked.
Every single time we do this, I feel like I got to kill about 100,000 people. Who lost their crap in public? 206-421-ROCK.
Hey, all of it, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done. With 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Men's Room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Our question, who lost their crap in public? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Laura. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Oh, hey, hi.
Hola. Oh, hey, hola.
Yeah, I always wanted to say instead of liquor and whores, it's got to be liquor and gigolos because being a woman.
Okay, I'm down with that, man. Or you can say liquor and man whores.
So you're going to pay us?
Sweet. How about we give you the first 5 for free, and then after that, you can determine if you want to give us a
we'll give you a punch card. Yeah.
As long as you sing the song like Dan Aykroyd did when he did it.
Oh, count on that. I sing every time I have sex.
Okay, all right. Well, my story is I'm driving down this 2-lane highway, and it's summertime. I got my windows rolled down, feeling all cool, and I look over in the next car, and here's this guy, big old smile on his face, flogging himself. And now,
flogging?
Being a woman in her 50s, and I've worked in healthcare my whole life, I have seen more naked bodies in a strip club. So I'm like, all right, yeah. I go to slow down, take my foot off the accelerator, and he does the same thing. That pissed me off.
I've apologized for this a million times, Laura. I'm so sorry.
Could you see the dolphin he was flogging?
Oh yeah. It was quite a little angry puppy, you know. So he zooms off ahead, and I'm thinking about it. Oh, whatever. And I get to thinking about it, and I start getting more angry, more pissed off. God, what if that would have been some little girl that she could have gotten in an accident over it? Well, about 5 miles down the road, I hit a stoplight, and here's this guy about 3 cars up. So by this time, I'm frothing at the mouth. I throw my car into park. I ran up to his car. It's like a Honda, one of these sedan things. And I just start kicking his door and say, show me your penis now, you leper. Show me your penis now. I had got a dent going in his car door. I reach in, grab him by his collars and say, don't you ever do that to a woman again, blah, blah, blah. And all the people around at the stoplight, they're looking, and the windows roll down, and they're like, what did he do? What did he do? And I turned around and I screamed, he showed me his penis. I thought this guy was going to crawl underneath his car seat.
How much longer was he stuck at the light?
For about 30 seconds after that. So
did he say anything to you at all during this altercation?
No, he was so stunned by it all. And then my husband said afterwards, God, Laura, he could have had a gun or whatever. I
love gun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I like that out of you. That's the right call.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Was his penis still exposed when you approached his car at the stoplight?
I don't think so.
Well, if you could see it while it was moving.
I probably would have grabbed it at that time and ripped it off.
Jesus. She ripped off my penis.
What happened to her? Nurse Laura.
Unexpected penis is like a reason to fight. We were at a game in Tennessee, right?
Let this be a lesson, children.
Yeah. Right. Well, like she said, when she yelled, he took his penis out, everybody's like, oh, creep.
Right.
So it's halftime. Tennessee's blowing the crap out of somebody. Me and a few of the guys, we leave. We go over to this bar, and we're sitting there. We're eating delicious wings, Miles, 32-ounce beers out of plastic cups,
nice.
right? 32 ounces. I mean, just living it up. But then out of nowhere...
Sweating like crazy because it's 955 degrees.
Well, it had just had a torrential downstorm.
Oh, okay.
So now it's only about 85 degrees.
Tennessee does not get cold in the summer.
So all of a sudden, this one dude just like punches it, right?
All
and
right.
like the other guy kind of go and like hits him again or whatever. So the scuffle's kind of broken up. So the guy that got punched, he's like, blah, 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 like, and the other guy, he's shaking. He's so angry. And he goes, I saw him take his penis out and show it to a girl. Well, now dude that's on the ground that got punched is getting dragged out and people are buying drinks for the guy that punched him. But same thing. It was like, I don't know. It's just, there's a certain level of creep you can't do where everybody's like, all right, hit him.
You can't whip out your Johnson in public at a restaurant?
Not in Knoxville.
Keep your penis in your pants.
Yeah.
I think there's a sign that says that on the door when you walk in.
And honest to God, that cannot be that hard to do. I don't feel like it's a big ask. Hey, in our restaurant, man, if you keep your penis in your pants. We don't want to have to tell you again.
Plus, I can't explain. The guy that hit him was shaking and like crying. You could tell he in no way wanted to hit anybody. But it was like, all right, we get it. You're protecting a lady.
Show me your penis, I'll turn into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe how big it was. Who lost their crap in public? 206-421-ROCK.
I mean, the worst thing is you got the chuckle idiots like us being like, oh, hey, you seeing this?
That's a first.
Bucket list. Hello, Candy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
I was young and saucy. I have matured since then.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, Candy.
I just got my wisdom teeth out a few days before, and me and our other couple stopped to get a little bite to eat, and they were serving some chili. It looked good until I tasted it, and it was so horribly salty. It burned like hell. And I went up to the girl, and I said, I can't eat this. You got something else? And she goes, no, that's it, and you can't have your money back. So I just went back to the table, and I took out the big squirt bottles of ketchup and mustard, and I beautifully decorated the entire table, and we left.
Now, you said you had your wisdom teeth out before you had the chili?
Yes, just a few days before.
And the chili burned your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have anything to replace it with, so you squirted ketchup and mustard on the table.
That's right.
Now, did you make a show of this, or was it something they had to discover later?
No, I did it right in front of her, and because she wouldn't do anything about it. She wouldn't offer me anything else. She just wouldn't give me money back, nothing.
What do you really think her problem was with you?
I don't know what her problem was. She had this smirk on her face, like, I don't know. Maybe
you know what I mean?
bad day.
There's more to the story. Like, and that's what I always wonder with those situations. Now, granted, if I would have said something, whatever, I'd be like, all right, I went over the line there.
Not you.
But there's more. There's more to that story.
Well, did anybody else think the chili was too hot?
No, it wasn't. It was just so salty. I didn't have nobody else had the chili, but they tasted mine. They had something else, but my chili was horrible, salty.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to return food just to say I don't like it.
Well, no,
there's something wrong with the order, right?
Yeah.
It was too salty. I mean, it was so salty you couldn't eat it.
Well, you also, yeah.
Okay. Well,
the wisdom teeth, I feel like, played a factor in this.
Right. Candy,
that's all I'm saying.
Candy, how long ago did this happen?
When I was 22, so many, like 30 years ago.
All right. So this place is probably no longer around, and I guess you never went back?
No.
Did you not go back because you didn't like the food, or did you not go back because when you calmed down, you said, I just squirted condiments all over the table?
No, because it was out of town and never
okay.
went there again.
All right, so it wasn't like this woman knew the guy you were with or anything like that, because that would be my
Right.
next guess.
Is that what you guys? Like, ooh, I used to date
I
Billy.
knew him in high school, or he
Here's
did
some
this to
salty
me,
chili.
or like he went out with my friend and screwed her over, and I'm going to oversalt his chili, or that would be how my mind worked. You know what I mean? Like somehow along the way, somebody knows this person.
I don't know. It's like, it's just salty.
I know. I'm like, well, you have holes in the back of your mouth.
But the chili was so salty.
So salty.
F your table, F your restaurant.
Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK. I'm just impressed they have mustard on the table.
You know, it's a good point, man. There's always ketchup, usually some hot sauce. Thinking of these places, mustard rarely on the table.
Barbecue's always next.
I feel like if you're at a place that serves chili, though, better shot of having mustard on the table.
There is a better shot, but that is for a very common condiment. That one seems to rarely actually just be sitting on the table.
Which is weird. We're like the mustard guys.
I know. I mean, they put ketchup everywhere. Who's ketchup's best friend? Well, his buddy's name is Mustard.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Why would you think mustard would be on the table at a chili place?
What if you get a chili dog or something?
Chili dog.
Well,
Right.
no, I'm just saying. Generally, if you're the kind of bar and restaurant that just serves like bowls or cups of chili, like so, it's not gonna be like a
Fancy.
food.
Right.
I feel like there's a better chance of having ketchup.
You
and
got a
mustard
good you got a good selection of condiments.
Right, it's my kind of place. Like, there's pictures of food on the menu. The menu's one size. You
That
flip it
helps.
over.
I always appreciate those places, like right near the wait station or whatever. You look over, and there's like 17 different bottles of steak sauce.
Mm-hmm.
They've got like 9 or 10 different kinds of mustard, like hot sauces, like all like 10 of them that you would look.
There's a couple of places like that in town. There's a Mexican joint that has some of the best beef barbecue I've ever eaten in my life. But like, if you want salsa, they just point. And they have a salsa station. There's probably like 15 of them.
Mm-hmm. Salsa bar.
And 12 of them are they're so good, but they're so hot it just hurts.
I think we've...
but you keep eating it anyway. Like, you're sweating and crying. You're like, it's so good.
There's a place in my neighborhood that I don't know if salsa bars ever come back.
I was going to say, I don't want to rain on your guys' parade right now,
I
but I think that's a lost
Me and my
cause.
buddy, we'd go there on Friday nights, and we knew the bartenders. If we would just pound beer, shots of tequila, and just crush that salsa like another bag of chips. All right, we'll pay for the guac.
Right. You're right. It's always extra. Like the sour cream. Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Tony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Tony, before you start, someone has a good theory here about candy and the salty chili. Says, I bet the woman she talked to actually made the chili and took it personally.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, we got for you, man.
Okay.
Talking about my salty-ass chili.
I like my chili salty. I like my friends.
That's what I'm just saying. I feel like the teeth had something to do with it.
It's not, well, she brought up that she had them out. So they had to play into it somehow. All right, Tony, what's going on?
I used to work at this truck yard, and the owner's son used to sit in his office all day and just pound whiskey. Just the meanest dude ever. And so I see him arguing with this massive truck driver about their comm check. And I'd see this the comm check is what you have to sign over if the yard unloads it for you. And he's arguing with this huge truck driver, and he's like, no, I unloaded the truck myself. And so they go outside to go fight. And so there's this huge gathering, and this truck driver is just beating the living crap out of this dude. I mean, but no one would jump in. No one would let anyone go get help or anything like that. And we just watched this truck driver just beat the living crap out of this owner's son.
How long did the fight last?
It was over probably in about 30 seconds, but it lasted about 3 minutes.
Okay. And did you not like this guy as well?
Oh, he was the biggest jerk. I got him to fire me on my last day on purpose because I was working slow, because I wanted to get free worker schooling. I had already enrolled in school. And we went to unemployment, and, because they're disputing it and stuff. So I'm poking him again, and he goes off on me during the unemployment hearing, and the judge finds in my favor over this guy.
So you basically, you baited him.
I did.
Okay.
It didn't take much.
I was going to say, he sounded pretty easy to bait.
If dude's drinking whiskey all day, I feel like that's a pretty easy mark.
Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
Oh, you sitting in Dad's office drinking whiskey?
Can your ass beat by truck drivers?
I know. That had to be a hell of a day, seeing him get his ass beat.
Have some salty chili. Candy says it sucks.
Right. You about to lose some teeth, too.
Hello, Morgan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitcholas.
Hola.
So I got two stories here. One I witnessed and one I was involved in.
All right.
First one, I was a young kid, 19, working my second shift at McDonald's. And just after the morning rush, we had this guy come in, who was dressed in a real nice suit, had on like one of those, overcoat suits you wear in the rain and stuff.
All right.
Just looked like a real nice squared away guy, had a cup of coffee in his hand from the restaurant, and went up to the counter and asked to speak with the manager. And the girl that was at the register, offered to help. Is there anything I can do? He says, yeah, get me the manager. Okay. So she trucks in the back. Manager comes out after a couple of minutes, and the counter back then was a little different, where there was just kind of like a flip-up end at the end of the counter that you could walk through.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and forth. And it was up, and the manager walked up to him, and as she's walking up to him, the guy pulls off the top of the lid of the cup and just hurls it at her crotch.
Jesus.
And then she screams in fright and everything, and the guy comes back and throws the styrofoam cup in her face and says, if this were hot enough, I would have just scalded your crotch. Now get me another effing cup of coffee.
What is the response to this?
I think she was in such shock, she just kind of backed away and said, get him another cup of coffee, and then turned and walked out.
I'm surprised nobody in there beat his ass.
That was my first one.
On any other normal day, I would have expected her to do it herself. I know that this was a small kind of hick town, and I know this woman. I've seen this woman, no kidding, wrestle a damn steer to the ground. She would have ripped him in half like a phone book if she'd wanted to.
She wanted that job more.
Well, she was also she was a manager and partial franchise owner.
There you go.
So maybe she had something in it there.
Yeah.
But
I feel like if I'm the franchise owner, it's go time, right?
Unless there's a threat of you losing the
I
franchise.
probably would have.
Well, you need to have You need to have an employee do that, and then let them know that they've been terminated.
Right. That's like one of the downsides of having a franchise.
What is that?
Well, like if I own a bar and restaurant, that's my bar and restaurant. If I own a franchise of McDonald's, if we do anything that's not in code with corporate McDonald's, they can take our franchise.
You need to change your code. Someone throw hot coffee on my crotch.
Right.
Like, tell me, there's something I can do to retaliate?
Who lost their crab in public? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Katie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. So this happened probably like 4 or 5 years ago. My best friend and I were at a concert, and it was one of our favorite people we wanted to see for a really long time. And so we were really excited. We got really good seats. We were down. We were listening. We'd been at this place for probably 15 minutes, and these girls came and got their seats, and they were already just trashed, trashed. And I'm normally not a super patient person, but at concerts I'm a lot more patient, and this was not one of those times. So, because it was me, I'm the one that lost my cool. And so about 45 minutes go by in this concert, and these two girls have done nothing except scream over the music to complain about their boyfriends pretty much the whole time. Yeah. And they're directly in front of us, and my best friend and we're sober. Like we hadn't gotten anything. So I'm just kind of tolerating their drunkenness. And as they go on, it gets worse and worse and worse. And so they're playing ballads, acoustic ballads, and these girls are screaming over the music. And there's more people that can hear them besides me. So they come to my favorite song. They're screaming over my favorite song.
What is your favorite song, by the way? Curiosity is killing me here.
Okay. So of this particular group, okay, don't hate me, but we were at a Dixie Chicks concert.
No, so what?
So
yeah.
All you had to do was not say Poison, and I'm cool. All right.
I figured I was going to guess Kenny Chesney just based on the level of intoxication.
No.
Yeah, but she wasn't drunk.
No. They were wasted, though. So I lean forward because I finally am just done. And I tap her on the shoulder and I said, hi, if you wouldn't mind kindly shutting the F up, that would be great. And I leaned back and just continued to go on. And this girl bursts into tears.
Oh, look what you've done now.
No, you got to cry her.
Oh, Katie.
You got to cry her.
Burst into tears. And her drunk friend next to her turns around and starts screaming at me, "You made my best friend cry!" Blah, 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 blah. And I kid you not, my friend who was standing next to me, all I feel is her arm shoot out in front of me because she knows I'm about to tackle this chick right in front of everybody, and she knows I won't hurt her. So I'm yelling at this chick over her arm. She's yelling at me over the aisles, and I'm like literally about to jump on her, and my friend leans over and she goes, "I suggest if you want to finish this concert that you turn around and stop talking now. Because if I move my arm, I can't do anything to help you."
I thought you could tell me Natalie Maines to stop the show. Right. Shut up!
No. So this girl stops like mid-scream, and she's looking at my friend. She goes, "I mean it." And so she turns right back around. And I think they shot us some nasty glances, like maybe one or two more times through the concert, but they did not say a peep for the rest of the entire concert.
There are certain people. I mean, I've been to say, I'm running my mouth, and the dude I'm running my mouth who's been very calm, and there's just a certain look in her eye. And they just say things like, "You want to keep running your mouth, homie?" And in that moment, I realized I don't.
I have nothing else to say.
What? There's something about you that says you're giving me the opportunity to save myself.
Ryan Castle joining us. We will sit and spit on the way next with 10 famous songs with celebrities in the lyrics.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.